All things considered, it's been a pretty good year for WWE. The brand split has sort of worked. Sort of. AJ Styles has proved himself to be the hootie mac of the company, and there have been some truly wonderful matches, and hey, maybe we should do a list of those or something. But after all, in true wrestling fashion, how can something be truly good unless it's paired with something truly bad? You know how it is. You've seen an Adam versus Adam. So while it's probably nicer for everyone to focus on the best of 2016, we know what you like. You want to talk about the worst. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are the 10 worst WWE pay-per-view matches of 2016. Number 10, Charlotte vs. Natalya, Payback. At WrestleMania, Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky put on the match of the night, capped off with the Divas Championship being permanently shelved and replaced with the rebooted Women's Championship. Ding dong, the witch is dead, etc. Charlotte's first defense of the brand new title against Natalya at Payback. I can remember nothing about this match apart from the ending. Proof that sometimes a finish can be so bad it turns a good match into one of the stains of the year. Charlotte locked Natalya in the sharpshooter and Charles Robinson rang the bell even though Natalya didn't tap. Why? Because Bret Hart was there and they just couldn't resist one last rehash of the screw job. It was awful, with Michael Cole feigning outrage whilst every single person in the building expressed genuine rage that WWE had just trotted out the worst finish of the year in exchange for their ticket money. Terrible. Number 9, Dean Ambrose vs. Dolph Ziggler, SummerSlam. Some of the matches on this list are on for different reasons. Some because the in-ring work was clumsy, some like the last entry because they had just one painfully dreadful moment, I'm still thinking about it, and some, like Ambrose vs. Ziggler at SummerSlam, because they had such potential but completely disappointed. The brand split had happened, Ambrose was champ, and Ziggler become number one contender, surprisingly. Neither man was a truly established main event talent just quite yet, but with the WWE Championship on the line, hopes were high that these guys could steal the show and cement SmackDown as a top-line show and elevate their standings in the company. The match suffered heavily from its placement on the card, with the crowd still knackered from AJ Cena, and, well, it just didn't work. The chemistry was poor, the energy of the contest never progressed from a tepid start. It didn't feel even a quarter of how important a WWE title match should feel, and neither man emerged from the contest looking any better. In fact, they both looked a bit worse. Number 8, Dana Brooke vs. Bayley, Hell in a Cell. This was a bit of a mess. Bayley's fantastic, but she's not quite at the stage where she can carry anyone to a good match. And while Dana looks fantastic, she's still, to quote Shakespeare, green as turtle shit. At Hell in a Cell, the two women had a match that would have been considered fairly empty even for Raw, with the crowd as lively as a frozen turd throughout. Dana worked Bayley's arm for about 6 boring minutes and then a Bayley to belly out of nowhere, and it was all over. Number 7, Dean Ambrose vs. Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania. Dean Ambrose's second appearance on this list, and it's the second match that had the potential to steal the show, which ultimately floundered. In fact, even the lunatic fringe himself knows how bad the street fight between him and Brock Lesnar was, with him barely even attempting to hide the bitterness as he asserted that he'd had all these ideas for the match, which were ultimately nixed by Brock because apparently he couldn't be arsed. And that is a claim that rings true, because despite it being a street fight involving a man so strong he once ate a pile of bricks and pooed out a church, it's really dull. There's some chair swinging, cane shots, and a pointless chainsaw bit, so it's not the worst thing to take place within 4 turnbuckles, but considering what it should have been, it's a dreadful match. Number 6, Nia Jax vs. Alicia Fox, Clash of Champions. Yep, I'm including kickoff matches. Deal with it, motherfuckers. It feels a bit like shooting fish in a barrel to call out a pre-show match for being weak sauce, but hot damn, this was bad. Not only that, the way it played out completely defeated its sole reason for existing. Nia Jax was coming into her first ever pay-per-view match off a string of squash matches on Raw, where she was booked to look awesome Kong dominant. Then, it took her 5 full minutes to put away Alicia Fox, someone with such little momentum I'm genuinely surprised she's able to move at all. What should have been a strong showing for Jax was a clumsy, heatless mess of shoving and Alicia Fox's flailing limbs. Number 5, the Ambrose Asylum match, Extreme Rules. You knew the Ambrose Asylum match at Extreme Rules was going to be poor from the moment you saw a fucking pot plant hanging above the cage. It's an example of a match being ruined by its own gimmick, not on the same level as Kennel of Hell, but, in that ballpark. It was such a slow, crowd-killing match with the pace ruined every single time they had to climb laboriously to the cage to grab a new weapon. Now, sure, it ended with thumbtacks, which was pretty damn shocking, especially since the two men were largely fueling over a fucking jacket, but the sight of Y2J with tacks sticking out of his fingers cannot rescue the Asylum from being sent to the landfill of tried and failed gimmick matches. Number 4, The Miz vs. Darren Young, Battleground. Another case of a preposterous finish ruining an otherwise fine match. I've actually consulted with a team of referees, bookers, and scientists to try and work out what happened at the end of the Miz Darren Young IC title match at Battleground. Young had a tiny bit of momentum, half from lucking his way to a Battle Royal win and also a win over Alberto Del Rio, half from fans pitying the utterly shit Bob Backlund Karate Kid gimmick he'd been given. The match was going okay, the crowd was a bit dead, but then the ending happened. Now here's what we know. Miz tried to leave, Backlund stood in his way. Then while Miz and Darren Young were in the ring, Maurice slapped Backlund and then pretended to fall over. Then Backlund half took off his shirt so it became a big white bib. Then Miz shoved him over. Darren put Miz in a submission move that wasn't the crossface chicken wing on the outside, and the ref called off the match. Now, why? At no point did either Miz or Darren Young get struck by anyone who's not in the match, and the submission hold on the outside had only been locked in for about, 5 seconds at most before the match was thrown out. I just don't get it. What am I missing? It's booking that's so bafflingly bad that, again, match ruined. Number 3, Golden Truth versus Breezango, Money in the Bank. This was not a match, it was a comedy f***ing sketch, and WWE sanctioned comedy is about as funny as a crushed eyeball. The Golden Truth, which despite all the deaths is still the most devastating thing to happen to entertainment, had meddled with Breezango's tanning beds and they got an incredibly sunburn. Coming to the ring covered in burns, peeling skin, melanomas and all sorts of lulzy stuff. What happened next was a stupid waste of oxygen as Breezango got chopped and 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 death. Number 2, Roman Reigns versus Triple H, WrestleMania. 27 minutes. That's how long it took Roman Reigns to win the WrestleMania main event to the howls of derision. Hey, said Vince, you know that thing you don't at all want and have spent weeks telling me that you don't at all want? Here's half an hour of it. If you need me, I'll be refreshing internet forums and masturbating. The main event of WrestleMania is supposed to be that final explosion of joy and excitement to cap off a year, and after back-to-back Manias where that happened, a boring, slow-moving, crowd-repelling dud of a WrestleMania main event stings, and stings bad. And number 1, Curtis Axel versus R-Truth, Fastlane. Fun fact, on the pre-show of Fastlane, Alberto Del Rio and Kalisto wrestled in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the US title. It was pretty good. Why was that on the pre-show, you ask? Well, to make room on the main card for matches like R-Truth versus Curtis Axel. What? Genuinely, when we watched it live, we thought someone in the production truck had f***ed up and accidentally spliced 10 minutes of superstars into the pay-per-view. R-Truth versus Curtis Axel, unannounced, with no build, none whatsoever, on a Road to WrestleMania pay-per-view. I do not understand. I do not want to understand. I just want to die. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com. And I'll see you soon.